I would like to begin by both thanking Susan and Chris for founding this amazing organization and allowing me to speak in front of you all today. This is an incredible honor for me. The work you two have begun is so important and so needed, and I'm truly grateful to be here, both as a client and
There's a backup.
there is a couple. Yeah, there's one.
There you go.
Okay, perfect. I was going to say in provision. Okay, that's the problem. Okay. Before joining NFP, I had a lot of anxiety. I lost both of my parents to cancer 4 months apart from each other at 16 years old, a time I consider to be the most important in an adolescent's life. This pain was and is indescribable. My family members stepped up immediately and are my greatest support system. However, they have their own lives and families to look after, so I've always felt alone. Becoming pregnant was such a blessing to me, but the prospect of bringing a baby into the world with minimal support and not having much to offer him was so unbearable, resulting into complications during my pregnancy. These complications are why I was referred to NFP and assigned a nurse. I have always worked multiple jobs, mainly in the food industry, which has allowed me to support myself throughout life. But after finding out that my pregnancy was a high-risk one, I had to make some career changes. I never regretted it, because after giving birth, I knew that spending time and bonding with my son was one of the most important accomplishments I could achieve. I could no longer work the long, strenuous hours associated with the food industry, so because of this, I began my journey to the corporate field. Despite this, my passion for food and working with food never diminished. During visits with my nurse and discussions we had about my goals and passions, she helped me to realize that I could still be a great mom and pursue my goals and dreams. I began selling food and baked goods to my friends and neighbors, and it was a big hit, with me getting more and more requests each day. Each request to put food in someone's belly put more motivation into my heart. Months later, I was able to update my nurse, letting her know how well business was going, and that I was thinking about getting an appliance to help me with quicker production. Something cheaper really, a handheld system that could temporarily assist, as the appliance that I desired was so far out of my means. That is how I was introduced to Friends. Through the Heart's Desire Fund, I was awarded a KitchenAid mixer with all its bells and whistles. I don't think you guys could have known a happier person than myself at that time. With this appliance, I was able to scale my business, resulting in more sales and a clientele that included the former chairman of the NASDAQ, multiple organizations, international companies, and even a limited time contract here at J Sweets. I was then able to move myself out of my NYCHA apartment, New York City Housing Authority apartment, where I was raised, but not where I wanted my son to spend his formative years in. Everything always went back to Kyler. In case you didn't know, it's my baby's name. Unfortunately, like an untold number of others, COVID-19 put a pause to my business. Surviving with my family and then giving birth to a healthy baby, beautiful girl, was enough solace I needed for having lost the volume of business I was privileged to receive in the first place. Since that time, I have always been an avid ambassador for Friends, so it was only fitting that I asked Karen if there was an official position here for me. I believe in luck, and I also believe in destiny, but I'm not sure which of it was when she just so happened to be looking for someone to fill a newly created role here. But she was, and that's how I became program associate. In my current role, I oversee the Heart's Desire, Nurse's Desire, and emergency funds. To date, I have been able to assist over 80 applicants, that's 80 moms of my community, funding at $90,000 for tuition, emergency assistance, certificate payments, furniture requests, and business equipment. I have also revitalized our LEAP sessions, Learn, Eat, and Play, that were spearheaded by my lovely colleague, Alex. And I've been hosting 12 virtual sessions on topics such as mental health, food and nutrition, early literacy, and sensory play. We are also working on an alumni group for the moms that have graduated to further build community within NYC NFP. I'm a firm believer that it takes a village. My goal in creating this village of alum is to give our moms the tools to advance in their careers, which will ultimately create opportunities to break generational cycles of poverty. I have been beyond blessed and honored to be able to advocate and assist moms and families of my community. I look forward to continuing this work, and I hope to make even a fraction of the impact that you all have made on my life. I look forward to continuing this work, and many, many thanks to the generous donors. Thank you.
I have to say that it was very lovely. Before we all started, Jasmine asked me, she says, "Are you nervous?" I'm like, "No, I'm not nervous." She says, "You sure you need to doing this?" And now I'm here, I'm nervous. So thank you. I didn't prepare a speech because, I was just like, I'm just gonna talk to Susan. Chris, I have never met Chris before, but it's nice to meet you. So I guess I'll be talking to you as well. I spoke to Susan. I did another speech for you all during our board meeting, and I was very happy to let everyone know what I had been going through. And what I had been going through before I had my son was like a little bit of loneliness. When I met my nurse, I had two nurses in the beginning. It was one was transitioning into becoming my nurse. So one was leaving, one was transitioning. I thought it would be a long pause. I was nervous because I was like, I'm losing my nurse, and that's my support system. So what am I gonna do? It was not long at all before friends put me onto a new nurse, and it was I didn't have that anxiety that I thought I would have, because once one nurse left, another one stepped right in. So that was one thing that I can say about friends, that the pace is fast. We're going to help you. Support is what it is. I had no support during my pregnancy. I was alone. I had family, but like Jasmine mentioned, they have their own lives. So when I met my friends, it was just like, I had a support system, because at the beginning, there was just no one. I moved on into my career. I love children. Children are my passion. I love children. I moved on, friends. I was able to get the award, and was able to become, I was able to move up in my career and get my child care certification. After my child care certification, I was able to become an assistant teacher. After my assistant teacher, I was able to move into a school where I worked with children with special needs. I became a TA, and after a TA, I became an administrator. All because of you. This is all because of you. I had a building school, and I was just like, I can't go on. They're going to kick me out if I didn't pay this bill. What am I going to do? I turned to my nurse. She turned to friends. They gave me this tuition that paid that bill for me. And it was just like, I was like, money just falls out the sky. Because a few minutes ago, I thought I was going to get kicked out of school because I couldn't afford to continue. You guys helped me to continue. Now I'm in school to be an occupational therapist. I love children with special needs. They're the sky. If it had no stars, there they are. These children are our future. They are beautiful. I am on to be an occupational therapist, and as Karen said, yes, the decorations, I have stepped into a team of a beautiful women, and now we decorate for different corporations, schools. I get to go in schools and decorate for them. They play with my balloons, but it's okay. So, friends, I just want to thank you. I want to thank the supporters. I want to thank founders. I want to thank everyone here tonight for making me who I am today. You not only gave me support, but like I said, I was this tall when I met you guys. I'm here. I'm 6 feet tall. I feel 6 feet tall now. So from my 3 feet, 6 feet, I just want to thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tiara. We're really blessed with some amazing speakers and some amazing women. And I left my speech over here.
There wasn't enough to roast my mama on. Like maybe she eats a little slowly. So we just wanted to take you through what she means to the rest of the people around her. And you know, as we think back to our childhoods, we really think about that there was nothing she wouldn't do to support us in whatever weird thing we happened to need to or want to do. There was the time she took one of us to eat just barely post-communist Eastern Europe for a chess tournament. There was the turtle the size of a human baby that she continued to take care of for years and years. There was the trip to a movie theater to watch a man be shoved into a wood grinder in the movie Fargo, which you know, I bet you can tell which child goes with which story. But no matter what, she was there and do whatever it takes to make sure we have the support we needed, and that is true throughout every aspect of her life.
Yeah, our mother has been a practicing psychoanalyst for more than 30 years. Before that, she helped found an art-focused preschool, and now, as a grandmother, she is overburdened with requests from her children and her grandchildren for her time, and she could not be happier. Suffice it to say, she's always had a knack with children and a soft spot for kids.
So the pairing with NFP is sort of a perfect match. You heard the person described here, and if you spend any time with her, you know that she exudes empathy and patience and passion for children. And with NFP, she's found a canvas where she can bring all those talents and talents to the world, sort of scale herself, I suppose. It's a remarkable fit, and I know we're talking about what you have brought to NFP, but I think NFP has brought a lot to you as well, and we've all seen the way in which your role here. You founded this thing, you co-founded this thing, you found your voice, I think, in a different way. You've become an advocate, and and you've called on your community, and you're not a person that asks much. You make do, and for NFP, you're asked, like and it's wonderful, and you speak, and you are heard, and you're making a really big difference. So, we hear from you a lot how proud people are of us, and I don't think you can ever hear enough from us how proud we are of you.
Tough acts to follow. First off, thank you to Karen and Ellen, who've been working on organizing this event for about 6 months. A lot of work went into this, and it's turned out so wonderfully. So I'm Jeff. This is my sister, Jennifer. My mom has been doing things to help other people, often strangers, my entire life. When I was in elementary school, or when we were in elementary school, My mom started a nonprofit that worked with taxi companies in Philadelphia to transport mentally disabled people. When I was about 10, I think, my parents bought an apartment so that they could rent it cheaply to a family named the Keys that had come to the U.S. to escape the Khmer Rouge dictatorship in Cambodia. While others like to golf in retirement, for the past 7 years, my mom has spent her retirement co-founding and growing Friends of New York City Nurse Family Partnership. Everyone who spends time with her knows that NFP is always on her mind. And for 7 years, she has brought nearly every conversation with her back to talking about NFP. When my parents hosted a family reunion in New Hampshire for my mom's 70th birthday, my wife Melissa and I thought it was only appropriate to print "Ask Me About Nurse Family Partnership" on the back. And when someone at the local ice cream shop stand did ask my brother-in-law, Uncle Rick, about NFP, he was able to answer and tell them all about it, because we've heard so much from her about how it has helped so many people. She's left an impression on the grandkids too. Our 12-year-old daughter Vivian gives her allowance to NFP every year on my mom's birthday and on Mother's Day. It's the only gift my mom will accept. No cards, no gifts, no flowers, just give to NFP. While we're happy to have more time with Nanny now that she's passing the torch at NFP, we are proud of the impact she's had for so many people.